now entering the last stages of what has been amazing camping road trip along the Oregon coast. There's a lot of memories that I'm going to hold on to for probably the rest of my life. And, you know, it really has been amazing. But I think one thing that has been really eye-opening is really just the time that I've had to myself. I don't know the last time I've spent this much alone time. And a lot of it will be really in the cars. Also, in the campgrounds, I'm here solo, so really it's just me and my thoughts. And for the most part, my thoughts in my internal home have been one of comfort, one of warmth. But what I've noticed is that there's also times of shakiness and disturbance, really, within my internal well-being. And I wrote a journal entry a couple days ago just about some of the thought patterns that I've noticed that have kind of led me down a slippery slope at times. And I thought maybe I can share it, and I don't know, maybe you could relate to some of these thought patterns. And so I noticed that there are three main thought patterns that kind of lead down this slippery slope, where it could just get into like a negative territory. And the thoughts that I'm having, honestly, I really think that some of these thoughts that I've been reflecting on have led to some suffering that I've experienced in the past. And so, kind of getting into it, number one is the planning mind. And a lot of these are thoughts about the future. Now, at times, like, some of this can be really good. I'm kind of thinking about theorizing ideas for problems I'm encountering, thinking about solutions, and, in a way, this could be good. And there's a couple different problems that I identified with this future planning mind. And the first being is that it's coming from a sense of lack, of I lack this, I want it. And really, what this is doing is I'm not really seeing the beauty that is within my situation as it is. There's so much beauty around me, around you, with whatever situation is. But when we're constantly looking forward to what we want, we're blinded to see what is beautiful all around us. So this was one thing that I noticed was bad. But then also, when I'm pushing myself into the future, really this is kind of coming from a sense of insecurity, of feeling like I don't have enough, that I'm not enough, that I need to be better, that I need to do more, that I'm not enough. And of course, this is not something that reflecting I should think about myself. I don't think this is something that anyone should think of themselves, because I don't know, I'm a firm believer that you are perfect as you are right now in this moment. And although I believe that, I notice that when I'm constantly thinking about the future, constantly planning about how I could be better in the future, what I'm really saying is that I'm not good enough as is. And, of course, growth is part of the journey. It's going to naturally be part of the journey. There's no need to force anything, to try to be anything that I'm not, because simply being you, me, we all are enough, and we will all grow and become better versions of ourselves if we just be and are in the present moment. So that was the first thing, is the planning mind. Now the second one, this one kind of surprised me because I didn't identify to this mindset before I did this reflection, and that is people pleasing. And, as I said, I wouldn't have identified myself as a people pleaser before, but after kind of going inside and uncovering what is within, it is clear that this is where most of my turbulent thoughts and stories that I tell myself come from, is this aspect of being a people pleaser. And in this sense, it's really trying to paint myself in a good image to other people, which, is really uncontrollable, and is beyond my control, is how others view me. And for me, putting all this focus in what's like the best way to go about acting and what should I do to look good to a certain person, impress a certain person. And it's through these thought patterns that I've been unable to really live in the present, grounded with where I am, by constantly thinking about my image and how others perceive me. I'm not doing the most important thing, which is really being not in the now and just being as I am. Like I said, once again, this is coming from a place of insecurity. As I reflect, I'm not good enough as I am. I got to make myself look a certain way. And through this, I'm also not accepting things as they are. If I'm constantly trying to make myself look a certain way, in a way, I'm trying to hold on to things, cling on to things that might not be meant for me. And rather than just accept things as they are, accept the way people perceive me as the way it is, I'm clinging on to certain things, certain relationships, that aren't in my best interests and aren't meant for me, really. And so that was something, and like I said, this is really coming from a place of insecurity, greed, and sometimes even envy. Um, and this is not what I want to be about. So this was like another internal thought. Now the last one, the third one, is the inner critic. And what I've noticed is that this voice honestly really doesn't even seem like my own. It really sounds like something outside of myself, and it feels like this was something passed down to me. Um, Maybe it was through just people in my past who have critiqued me, what be it. But when I hear this voice, it doesn't sound like my own. And once again, this is coming from a place of insecurity and fear that I'm not doing enough, I'm not good enough, that I'm not enough. And it's really not coming from my being, which is really a place of abundance and love. So these were the kind of the three different internal landscapes that I noticed can be tumultuous for myself, that I've kind of reflected on this road trip, where I've had a lot of time to just be by myself and spend with myself, hear my thoughts. And what I really noticed, and maybe this is what can resonate and the main takeaway for you, is that this all comes down to not having faith in my own self and my own being. Through all these different thoughts, it's coming from insecurity. It's coming from that through me being who I am, through me just simply being, through me being myself, it's not enough. That it's not going to get me where I hope, which once again is beyond my control. And what I really kind of all encapsulated this down to is that I really need to find the faith in myself, and I need to find the faith in being. I need to find the faith in my center, and know that my being, my center, this is the most powerful version of who I am. This is the most full version of who I am. This is the most whole version of who I am. And for you, this is also the most whole version of who you are. When you're just simply being, when you're not being the thoughts that are limiting you, but when you're just simply being. For the remainder of this road trip, and really the remainder of the rest of my journey of life, this is something I'm gonna really repeat over and over again, is to have faith in my being, to have faith in my center, because it's in this center that there's a wealth of knowledge there. When you're simply just being and just flowing with life, in a way, the thoughts are just kind of holding you back. When you're able to just be and flow and be in your zone, you're in one with nature, you're in one with your environment, you're in one with the people and the things around you. And this is where your greatness lies. This is where your full self lies. And so, I don't know. I think that this is larger than the thoughts. This is larger than the fear. This is larger than the insecurities. The power of being centered. The power of being in your fullest form. The power of being present here and now. And I just hope that in some form or another, me sharing these internal thoughts that I've been reflecting on during my time here can serve you in some form or another. Maybe it's a reminder of the power of your being, of you just being as you are. Maybe it's the reminder that you are perfect as you are. Maybe it's the reminder to take the time to listen to your thoughts, hear what they're saying, listen to what they're telling you. That's it from me. Per usual, I hope you guys stay present, stay grounded, stay centered, and aloha.